Okay. So I printed out the full the full dealer clip for both sides, all as one piece, right? This whole thing. And the dividers ended up marking up the cards, not just the sleeves, but the cards. So, and the cause of that was that when the dividers are when the cause of that was when the dividers are down, right? Like this, and the rest of the deck is up here, and you want to put the first card in the graveyard or the banish zone, right? It has to slide underneath the divider, but it also has to slide over top of the clip itself. And so you get the card being deformed into that kind of a shape. Right? Because it has to go over the clip, but also under the divider. So I can't have these dividers as thick as they are, and I also can't have them shaped the way they are. Because the dividers going around this is what allows them, right, to be bent in the first place. So I've had some time to think about how to address this issue, and I thought, what if I put a card sleeve over top of the divider? And I tried that, and it worked. Not the best, but it was better than no divider. So the problem, right, is the fact that there's a great big hole in these dividers. So I need dividers without a hole. But these dividers having no hole would mean that it would keep this deformed like too often, you know? Or too deformed too often. So I need them to be thin dividers. So I'm gonna go back. Oh, okay. I'm gonna start naming these sketches. What's this? This is... Okay, I'm calling that base clip geometry. Alright, this one is... What's this one? I don't know. What's this one? Oh, hang on. That's not base clip, that's old clip geometry. Because this is the current clip geometry. So, current clip geometry. Okay, sketch 5. What's that? Where's sketch 5? Sketch 6. Two-player mirror. Sketch 7. Ah, okay. That is the strap holes. Sketch 8 is... I believe old wall geometry. Sketch 11. Ah. Extra deck geometry, sketch 12. Okay, rename divider sketch plane edge. Okay, sketch 13 is the dividers. Sketch 15. Yeah, okay. Sketch 15 is current wall geometry. Sketch 16 wall tube. Sketch 17 wall fence. And sketch 18 wall legs. I don't know what to call that. Okay. So yeah, I need to redesign the dividers. And before I forget, I need to bring up the walls. And I'm just gonna go ahead and I need to get rid of this tube. And I don't remember what was where or what will interfere with anything, so I'm just gonna make a new extrusion. I'm not gonna edit any previous geometries. Okay. I also don't think I actually need these walls, because after I printed this whole thing, it gripped onto the deck tremendously tightly. Well, not tremendously tightly, but very well. Very, very well. So I don't think I'm going to need these walls. Now I have to go to the divider sketch. Okay. Now I have to actually constrain the cards, this card geometry here, to the rest of the divider sketch, because if I'm gonna have very thin dividers, the way to differentiate what's what is no longer going to be a gap between them, between the different zones, but like a tab sticking out, right? That was the idea of the tabs here. But I don't like how these tabs work. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a point on the center here and a point on this center here, wherever it is. There. And I'm going to move these until they snap to each other. Okay. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this much geometry here. But now I'm going to finish this sketch and start a new sketch. Let me get the clip out and so I can see which plane is the correct plane. Nope. 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 No, that's an axis. Nope. That one. Okay. Start a sketch here. Bring up this one. I'm going to project all of this so that I can keep it. And also the cards. Okay. So that's what I need, and then this is gonna all be construction. All right. So now what I need to do is I need to make some rectangles. I need to make 2 rectangles. And one is going to be bigger than the other. Then they're going to be collinear with each other. And they're also going to be collinear with this. And then I'm going to put some lines here. And make them equal. Whoops. This one. And this one. Whoops, wrong thing. Okay. I need this one to be equal to this one. Okay. What? Okay, I don't know what I did wrong. Okay. Anyways, this is gonna go in the same place this was gonna go. I'll just make one for now. Right? I'll make one. And then it's gonna have to be longer than the cards. I'm gonna put a text box because I'm gonna label it. That's annoying. Graveyard. And then it has to be a stencil font. Do I have a stencil font? QR. Doesn't look like I have a stencil font. I'll have to download a stencil font later. I think this is a stencilable font. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this font is stencil enough for now. Anyways. It's good. And each side has to be bigger than has to come out farther than the card. Whoops, wrong kind of rectangle. I want a corner rectangle. Okay. How big is this? 12. I'm going to make it 15. I'm going to get rid of this then. I'm going to make this 3. And this also 3. You know what? Actually make them both 5. I should probably be making these parameters. Let's see. I've got card width. I should add a parameter called card height. Just to have it. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what the best thing to do here would be. So this will be bigger than the whole size of the cards. And you know what? It should actually include all of this. Okay. Yeah. Gonna delete that. Delete that. Gonna delete these. Okay. Cool. Okay. So now I'm going to finish and extrude this by about 0.6, which is 3 layers, or 3 layers for the printer. Bring back this one. Rename the sketch to thin dividers. And then I'm going to extrude this by a wall thickness. And then I will give all of this a good edge right there. How's that look? Yeah, that looks good. Okay. And then I should be able to get the, you know what? I might not want to. Okay. And then I just remembered that the way this goes on to the way this is supposed to clip on, right, means that I have to take out some material here. I have to take out quite a bit, don't I? Okay. That won't quite be enough, will it? Hang on. With the thinness of it, if I take out just about this much, then I should be able to bend this just enough to get it on. I can bend it a different way. Instead of moving this up and down like this, I can move it like this. So I'll go ahead and cut that out. Okay, rename this one to thin, no, don't, thin dividers cut out. Okay. Hopefully that'll work. I'm gonna make an offset plane from this plane and put it in here a good chunk and split it real quick. And then, what's this? This is the second body, so rename this to thin dividers clip-on test. TD clip-on test, so that I can see the words clip-on test when I print it. Save that. Alright. Go ahead and suppress that. And get rid of this plane here. Okay, and then go back into the thin divider sketch. Okay. Can I mean, it did that, but okay. That's also 5. What? Okay. That's 5. That's 5, and that's 15. And these are collinear with that. Alright. Get rid of the first one. Bring back this one. Get out that. Make that also 0.6. And actually what I should do is make that into a parameter. Hang on. I could just change the divider height. And then I can change this extrusion to divider height. And the previous extrusion, no, not that one. This extrusion. No, not that one. This one. Okay. And then if I get the other divider here, right? That one's not going to work, obviously, but that's the base for it, you know? Okay. So I've got this one, and I've got this one. And I have to extrude this by a wall thickness. $25, $27. Okay. And it was what, like 8.5? Yeah, 8.5. Okay. So now I have this one and this one. So now I bring back the thin divider cutout and I extrude away the thin divider cutout. Okay. So I should be able to have these. Now the last thing I need to do is put the labels on them. So put a sketch here. Put a rectangle here. This is 15. And then this is collinear with this. And I should be able to put a text box, and I should be able to... Oh, cool. Cool. So this is the graveyard. Is there anything... Is there anything that looks like it can be stenciled? What is this one? I don't like... It can be stenciled, and it's a nice, simple font, too. But I don't like that it's all lowercase. Hang on, let me make this bigger. Make that 10. Okay, if I extrude that, okay, no new body, so that's good. I need to measure the distance between these points. Has to be at least 0.4. 0.366. Okay. If I make it 15, that's too big. Okay. If I make it 12, that's just big enough. Okay. So now if I measure this, .43. Okay. That's 0.4. That's one line width. So minimum of 12-point font. And if I wanted to double that, I'd have to double the point to 24, which means I'd have to double to 30 millimeters, which is 3 centimeters, which is massive. And that's because it's a small font. there a better font to use? And this had to be 4 points in order to fit 6. Okay, 6. Okay, if I make a sketch here. Oh, there's a new body. There's a couple new bodies. Hang on. I mean, you can still read it, so that's fine. This looks like it'll peel off easily. Anyways, let me measure this distance between these points. 0 degrees, of course. Let me put a line in between them and measure that. 0.636. That's the wrong measurement, but that's thicker than this. Where to put it? Okay. 0.633. I need to find a nice thick. I need to find a nice stencil font. Okay, so I will not put the labels on yet. I'll just stop here, save it here. I will print out a test for the clip-on part. But I will stop here for now until I find a good font to use. And then I'll have to install that font. Alright. Okay, so I found a font that I like. I mean, the aesthetics are kind of irrelevant. The aesthetics are nice, but they're kind of irrelevant to what I needed, which was for the gaps in between these gaps here to be big enough, and they're nice and big on this one. So I went ahead and I moved the text box over so I can put an arrow on it because I want to see if I like that. What? 3. Okay, so if I move this and put a point here and here, I can put these together. I moved it. I can just make these collinear. Move this up and down. Move this in. Can make that 6 then. Make that 3. And eight. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, and then if I just put this here, and then I put a line here and here, and I make these two lines equal to each other. And then in this extrusion, okay, and I bring this back up, and I cut out this arrow. Okay. There we go. How's that look? So the idea here is it says graveyard with the down arrow so that you know that the graveyard is underneath this. Right? And if I have this, right? That's what it would look like. And then now I can, okay, so I can rename this to the graveyard, call it GY divider, and I'll do the same thing on this one, right? Oops. Start a sketch here, put it there, put a text box here, choose the font, this one, 5-point, I believe, no, 6-point font. Line it in there. Banish zone. That's 15. That looks good. If I recall correctly, this was 8. This was 3. And then the edge polygon, that was 6. This is collinear here. And this has to be vertical. Then from here to here is equal to from here to there. This has to be horizontal. This has to be on that plane, and then move this inward. Cut this one out. Get rid of the other body so that it doesn't interfere with anything. Bring back the sketch. Okay, and then, whoops, rename the sketches to graveyard label, and rename this to banish label. Rename this one to banish divider. And what is this? Why does every single frickin' stencil font have that one little thing wrong with it? Okay, that's legible, but I am going to change that from banish zone to banished. I think if it says banished, that's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I'll get rid of that, bring that back, move this one by like 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters. All right, You know what I'm gonna do? How long is that? Okay, cool. 1.2. Is that better? Oh, I see. That's why. Now it looks like 3 anished. That's why it has that weird look. So what looks better? This? I think that does look better. Real quick. Whoops. Wrong sketch. This sketch. Are there numbers in this font? No, this font does not have numbers. Okay. Alright, so save this here. No, hang on. Before I forget, I do want to round off these edges here. Make them something like 5. Yeah, okay. And these two. But these have to be like 0.75 if I remember correctly. And that'll just allow them to snap on better. Okay. So now I will print out the test of these and also rename body 28 to trash. So now I will I think that arrow is a good idea. I'm not sure. Anyways, now I'll print the test of this and then I will probably print it twice just to check, because like there will be this gap maybe, right, because of how it works. I get the wall, not the walls, the clip here, right? I really hope, okay, 0.6 should be enough for them to be sturdy enough without them to not like be floppy. Should be enough for them to not be floppy, but also not too thick, so. Hopefully these will work because they are big. They're big though. They're big. Look at that. That's massive. Maybe I should have. You know what? I'm not gonna make the thin divide. I'm not gonna make the banish zone wider than the graveyard. I'm actually gonna make it the same. Can I? Yeah, okay. Failed to solve. Why is that? There's a Here, let me see something. Failed to solve. Okay. I'll make it 4.9. Yeah. And then 5.1. Okay, so now I have to redo the this one. Okay, so now this goes like here. Oh, that's right. And then this was on that line. So now it goes there. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Change. Go back into this. And instead of 4.9, make that 5.1. Okay. Take this one. Delete it for now. Extrude both of these sides. Negative 0.1. Negative 0.1. There. Okay. Just, okay, now I can... I didn't like that. I didn't like them not being the same size when I wanted them to be the same size. So I forced the matter. Alright, now I should be able to make that 5. Okay, so now I can save this. And I can save this. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to put my finger underneath these. Oh, you know what? I'll see. I might want it. I actually might want it to be. I want them to be smaller than the cards. In this direction, because It'll help me grab the cards more easily, but I'll see. I will see. So I will save this project here. And I will get the test for it out. I will get the test for it printed and see if that works. And then if that works, I'll go straight to printing out these, at least the graveyard. So yeah. Okay, so I've got the dividers printed out. I don't like how the words look on them. I think what I would do, what I want to do, is make the bottom layer completely solid, and then only have the other two layers have the words. It'll be cleaner that way. But they work, right? I've got the cards. I can put, oh wait, hang on. You gotta make sure that the dividers are at the bottom when you use them, or when you put the deck in. So I can put the deck in the I can put the deck in the thing. It's easier if I can get a better angle. And it is a bit difficult because, well, quite frankly, I think I just need to break this thing in. Because it's a little tight, but it's not too tight. So the deck's in, and I actually don't like the dividers being longer or wider than the cards. I need to make them the same size as the cards, because it's hard to get at the cards through these dividers. But they do work. Let me get the extra deck real quick. Right, they do work. So like, say I've got a bunch of cards that I wanted, that I used, and that they all went to the graveyard, right? I just stick them in there, and they're in the graveyard. And if I need to pull something out of the graveyard, I just pull it out, and I take it out of the graveyard and I use it. Put the rest of the graveyard back, and it works. And then maybe say this gets banished. It's banished. Maybe it came back at the end of the turn, because a lot of cards that get banished, they banish themselves until the end of the turn. You know, so this works, and I can draw from it. Right? I drew another copy of the same card because I have not shuffled this deck. I sorted it recently and I haven't shuffled it. But yeah, they work. I just think they could work a little bit better if they were the same width as the cards. And if the bottom layer was solid. So I'm going to make that change, and then I'm also going to work on a clip for this, or clip. What do you call this thing? I don't know. Not tab. The strap hook. I don't know. I'm going to work on a thinner one of these so that it doesn't get in the way of this. And even if it does get in the way of this, I can make a shorter one probably and have it like in here somewhere, you know? Like I can move this over here and then it won't get in the way. So it's not a big deal. This isn't a big deal, but I will make a thinner one. But I need to just make minor modifications to these dividers and make this little tab better. This thing better, whatever you call this. And yeah, also because of how the extra deck works, when the duel is over, you got to remove the extra deck first and then the main deck. Otherwise, because like if you remove the main deck first, the extra deck part will get loose and it'll fall out. Unless you have a full extra deck. If you have a full extra deck of like 15, then it's fine. But yeah. I also might make them a little bit shorter. But I think they're fine. I think they're fine at the length that they're at. Oh no, that's the extra deck. This is okay. Alright. So that's the changes that I'll have to make, is solid bottom, skinnier.